Yes, I love elephants. It just walked its way. I love elephants. I have elephant statues in my house. Elephant photographs on my walls, elephant prints on my clothes. I wear elephant earrings, and I have an elephant cell phone case. My friends know it is a rare day that I do not have elephants on me somewhere. And no, I am not a Republican. Elephants have always brought me joy. They are just so big and strong, but yet such elegant creatures. I would own a real one if I could. In fact, one of the highlights of my life was when I got to ride a live elephant at the fairgrounds in California. My very first elephant was a gift from my auntie. I must have been around 14 years old. And I held on to that elephant and grew very possessive of my elephants through the years. I had a beautiful childhood and a beautiful family and a beautiful mother who lived to be 101 years old. I married the love of my life when I was 23 years old. And we have been together for 45 years and raised 4 children. It sounds, excuse me, it sounds like a beautiful story of innocent young love, doesn't it? For most people, the story of getting married at 23 would be the beginning, the start of your lives together. But for me, it wasn't. I had already had 2 husbands, 4 children, and a lifetime of pain, confusion, secrets, and stories. But I got blessed. I fell in love with this wonderful man who loved me and my children. At first, I didn't tell him anything. How could I? My secrets brought shame. It must have been my fault. I did things I was not proud of. But little by little, I grew in his love and found safety and protection. He loved me for me. And I was able to tell him, just him. This is the last one. Okay. Okay. There are things that happened to me that I never talked about. Not to nobody. I couldn't tell my mother. I couldn't tell my siblings. It took me a long time to realize that my innocence was stolen from me. That what these men did to me was not okay. I didn't know. I didn't know about things that happened between grown men and women. I didn't know that these two men who I called uncles took advantage of 13-year-old girls like me. I didn't know. Then there were the boys I hung out with. They thought I was cool because I played sports like baseball. I climbed trees. I was one of them. I was 15 years old when I found out I was pregnant. It was a shock to my parents, but even more, it was a shock to me. No one had ever told me how girls get pregnant. No one had told me or taught me about the birds and the bees. No one had talked to me about being careful and that I shouldn't be alone with these men. He was 21 and I was 15. I didn't even know what was happening to me when I was alone with them. But there I was. One day I was climbing trees with the boys, and the next I was in the delivery room pushing out a baby girl. It was what it was. I was a mommy. And I had to figure out what was next. I got married at 17 and had 2 more babies. That husband didn't work out. I tried it again at 21. We had 1 baby together, and he didn't work out either. So by 23 years old, I was single and with 4 babies and a big secret. But I got blessed. I fell in love with this wonderful man who loved me and my children. At first, I didn't tell him anything. How could I? My secrets brought shame. It must have been my fault. I did things I was not proud of, but little by little, I grew in his love and found safety and protection. He loved me for me. And I was able to tell him, but just him, that one person who helped me carry my secret all these years. I buried my mother at the incredible age of 101. And even then, even after all that time had passed, she never knew. In fact, it took me 40 years to understand it all. It took me 40 years to be able to say the words. It took me 40 years to realize that I was raped. I was raped by men who I trusted. And I didn't even know what it was they were doing to me. But I know now. And I'm standing here, almost 70 years old. I look good too. Finally able and willing to speak my truth. So, my dear friends, I am sharing my secret out loud for the first time. For the first time with anyone besides my darling husband here tonight. I was taken advantage of many times. I was left alone with men who I was supposed to trust. I had a baby girl without even knowing how babies were made. I learned a lot since then. I learned to trust people, and I found my faith in the Lord. Jesus. Whew. I made a decision long ago not to let life get me down. Yes, terrible, awful things happen. But what are you going to do? Go hide in the corner and chew on toilet paper? Not me. I am a truly happy person. I look in the mirror and I see 4 feet and 10 inches of fabulous. Whoa. I love God and my community, and I love people. I love to make people smile, and I don't let things get to me. I know that my love and light comes from the inside because I love me some me. And I truly, truly hope that by standing here today, sharing my story, I can inspire someone, encourage anyone out there tonight who may have their own secrets. I know girls today may be like me, scared to come forward, even years later, because you are afraid of what people might think. I know for years I blamed myself. For years I felt the shame, but no more. It wasn't my fault, and it's not yours. Mothers, teachers, fellow women, please hear this. Talk to your girls, educate young girls, and how to keep themselves safe. Empower them to stand up for themselves and encourage them to speak their truth. Truth is power, even if it takes 40 years. Like I said, I got blessed. I found a strong, loving man to listen and be there for me, to be my partner and raise our children. He is larger than life. This man with his jolly smile and his big old round belly, he's my rock, my safety. Sometimes I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to rub his belly and ask him, when is the baby due? Because it makes us laugh, and laughter is like medicine. Maybe that is why I started loving elephants so many years ago. They were big, strong, and made me feel safe. And that is what I needed to get through. These giant, peaceful creatures became my symbol of hope. And that is something no person on this earth can take away from me. Hope lives in your heart and in your soul. And where there is hope, there is a way forward. Amen.